But let us get to the next video dono. This next video dono was requested by the La Li Lu Li Lo. I'm not joking, that's the name. The La Li Lu Li Lo. And they said, a great scene from one of my favorite video games, Metal Gear Solid 2, seems very relevant for today's political climate. Cheers, Ghost, and have a great show. Well, thank you very much. As a matter of fact, when I got one of the first Nintendos, out here. Well, not in San Antonio. I was living in another city at the time, but back in like '87, I think I got one of the first Nintendos in my subdivision. And one of my favorite games was Metal Gear, believe it or not. Metal Gear, the original. Of course, you had to know the secret code that'll give you all the weapons so that you could beat the game, because I mean, if you were to get the weapons manually, you'd be there for hours and hours and hours. But I did appreciate that game, and I hear it's evolved into a whole bunch of stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at the La Li Lu Li Lo. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what they got. Here, put the PC shot on. All right, the La Li Lu Li Lo requested this one. Here it is. Put the PC shot on. Here it is.
Now things are starting to make a little sense. Switch over to nano communication so nobody can listen in.
Yes, sir.
And shut up, I never cheated, assholes, all right?
Do
The
you
code
read me,
was there
sir?
for a reason.
Yes.
Mr. President, it's my understanding that the terrorists have managed to input the code sequence necessary for launching a nuclear strike.
Uh-oh.
That's correct. I punched the sequence in myself.
You're working for them?
If you asked me 2 hours ago, my answer would have been yes. Right now, they're keeping me alive until my vital signs are reconfirmed.
Uh-oh, it's the
I wouldn't
president.
quite put it that way. I wanted power. They sought destruction.
But why stoop to terrorism?
I wanted absolute power.
But you're the president. You have power.
No, I'm just a figurehead.
Oh.
I don't have any control. The real power is in the Patriots' hands.
The Patriots?
The truth behind this country. I'm not surprised you've never heard of them. Very few are aware of their existence, even among those with code word clearance.
Huh?
Politics, the military, the economy, they control it all. They even choose who becomes president. Putting it simply, the Patriots rule this country.
Uh-oh.
No.
Hard to believe, isn't it? But it's the truth. The space defense, income tax reduction, and national missile defense programs. Every policy that's been credited to me was actually done according to their instructions.
Space defense was initiated by Congress.
That's what the Patriots want the country to believe.
Dun,
It's all
dun,
a show.
dun.
Democracy is just a filler for textbooks. Think about it. Do you actually believe that public opinion influences the government?
No.
This country is shaped and controlled as the Patriots see fit. The people are shown what they want to believe. What you call government is actually a well-staged production aimed at satisfying the public.
Huh?
Don't look at me like that. I'm legally sane, you know.
It's not your sanity that worries me.
Whoa, that's some realism for
The
your ass
Patriots.
right there, huh?
Even I don't know who the actual members are. Are they financial, political, or military leaders?
Black Ops
No one knows who the
operatives.
Patriots really are. Even my instructions come from a cutout. All I've been told is that every key decision is made by a group of 12 men, known as the Wise Men's Committee.
The
Your
Wise Men's
office? The
Committee.
White House?
Merely puppets, pawns in a game. By pledging my loyalty, an insignificant son of a senator was awarded the presidency. Of course, that wasn't the only price I had to pay.
What do you mean?
Even if a pawn becomes a queen, it is still just a playing piece. I wanted to leave my own mark in history, but my ambitions were...
Redesigned.
You'll understand
Yeah,
someday.
redesigned by a power that be.
I wished to be a member of the Patriots. I wanted to wield the power of a king instead of being an expendable pawn.
And that justifies acts of terrorism?
Yes, I'd intended to use the new Metal Gear as a bargaining chip.
Bargaining chip?
But I underestimated Solidus. He actually wants to challenge the Patriots, even if it means the destruction of the world.
What are you saying?
Whether you believe it or not, the balance of power rests in the hands of the Patriots. They regulate the country's various interests through controlled presentation, staging a drama that is palatable to the general masses.
Now, who do you think the Patriots are? Post what you think the Patriots are in the chat rooms. I'm very curious to hear what you think they are.
Can you imagine what would happen if they ceased to function? Picture a massive political vacuum, a space that every powermonger will try to fill for their own greedy ends. I'm talking about an unregulated power struggle, panic, civil war, chaos. Like it or not, the Patriots is an organization that must continue to exist.
So you changed your mind because you wanted to avoid global chaos.
Exactly. When I told Solidus that I wished to prevent disaster, he replied that pawns can never become players.
And who is this Solidus?
My predecessor, George Sears. That was the name the public came to know him by. I knew him by his code name, Solidus Snake. He was the
Solid
third snake,
Snake,
preceded by Solid and Liquid, a survivor of the Les Enfants Terribles project. Neither solid nor liquid, he was a well-balanced masterpiece that the Patriots saw it fit to entrust with the presidency. However, he fell out of grace with the organization 4 years ago. When acting on his own, he started an incident.
4 years ago. Shadow Moses.
Shadow Moses.
That's right. At the time, the DARPA chief, Donald Anderson, together with certain influential parties, initiated the development of Metal Gear Rex and an advanced nuclear warhead. However, this did not fall in line with the Patriots' plans. What's more, Solidus decided on his own to send his most trusted
Sounds
man,
eerily
Ocelot,
similar to
provoke
events today.
Liquid Snake, bringing about the said incident. As a result, he succeeded in obtaining Rex and the data on the warhead. But in doing so, he ended up revealing the existence of both Rex and the Genome Army, a blunder that earned him the wrath of the Patriots. Shortly thereafter, Solidus was removed from the presidential office.
I thought he resigned.
That's the story given to the general public. Following his resignation, the Patriots selected me, their new pawn, for the presidency.
But that would mean that the presidential race was...
That was quite a show, wasn't it? It was a
Kinda
well-scripted
like
drama
Joe
staged by the
Biden's
Patriots for the benefit
ridiculous
of the public.
80 million votes.
Even the Democrats and Republicans were dancing to the Patriots' tune. Everything went according to plan, but for one exception. Following his resignation, Solidus' health was scheduled to fail him, bringing about his untimely death.
Capped?
Correct. But before the Patriots could execute their plot, Solidus went underground with the help of Ocelot. As he avoided pursuit, Solidus gained control of Dead Cell, winning over Colonel Golukovich's outfit. From there, he bided his time, knowing that his opportunity would soon arrive.
What opportunity?
The completion of the new Metal Gear project, an opportunity that would even his odds against the Patriots. By stealing the Patriots' most valued project, he would be able to place them in a very uncomfortable position. It's the only chance he has for survival. Once he has the new Metal Gear, he'll declare war against the Patriots. Needless to say, he must be stopped.
Metal Gear is already operational.
No, not yet. What you saw was Metal Gear Ray, hijacked 2 years ago from the Marines by Ocelot. That was not the new Metal Gear.
Then where's the new Metal Gear?
Right here.
What?
You're standing in it. To be more precise, this entire big shell facility is the new Metal Gear.
What'd you say?
No, I'm quite serious. The upper structure that you've seen is camouflage, designed to represent an offshore cleanup facility. The main structure extends from the foundation all the way down to the ocean floor. The
Okay.
connecting elevator is located on the B2 floor of the Shell 1 core. Arsenal Gear. That's the code name for the new Metal Gear.
Arsenal?
Oh.
That's right. Arsenal. We're talking about an impregnable
Interesting.
fortress carrying a load of over a couple of thousand missiles, including nuclear warheads, all protected by a horde of mass-produced Metal Gear Ray units.
Mass-produced?
The Ray unit was originally designed for the Marines to be used as a countermeasure against the Metal Gear variations throughout the world. The Patriots had Ray redesigned to protect the new Arsenal gear.
So now
Man, do they
anti-Metal
even make-
Gears
hold
are
on, pause
guarding
this.
a Metal Gear.
Do they even make video games like this anymore? Because I didn't play this game.
Ironic, isn't it? That's not all. Arsenal Gear has full access to the military's tactical network, giving it the ability to exercise absolute control over our nation's armed forces, not to mention our nuclear armament. In short, Arsenal was created to be the core
No,
of
we
our
got
country.
Fortnite now.
Idiotic weapon.
Weapon? No. You're not seeing the full picture. Arsenal Gear is more than just a military tool. It is a means to preserve the world as it is. It will establish a new form of control. The Patriots will use it to keep their place as the country's true rulers. Right now, they feel pressured and threatened.
By what?
They fear an overabundance of digital information. The world will drown in the coming flood of information, and they
man.
along with it.
The flood of information. I mean, I think that's what's happening now. I think folks are getting bamboozled by all the information and they can't retain it because it doesn't coincide with their gratification fetish. You know, I mean, that's what everybody's living right now. Self and fast gratifying gratification. Instantaneous gratification. And if it doesn't come fast enough, they don't want to have anything to do with it. You know? Very, very eerie video there. The La Li Lu Li Lo. All right, that's who donated that. So cheers to you. That was very interesting to say the least. So let's go ahead and take a look at what Slippery Ho has in store for us. Cheers to Slippery Ho out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. All right, here it is from the game Metal Gear Solid 2. Put the PC shot on.
I will triumph over the Patriots and liberate us all, and we will become the Sons of Liberty!
The Sons of Liberty. The Sons of Liberty. There you go. All right, here it is. Once again, Slippery Ho hooking us up a little bit
Are
of a
you
game
receiving?
here.
We're still here.
How's that possible? The AI was destroyed.
Only GW.
Who are you?
To begin with, we're not what you'd call human. Over the past 200 years, a kind of consciousness formed layer by layer in the crucible of the White House. It's not unlike the way life started in the oceans 4 billion years ago. The White House was our primordial soup,
Okay.
a base of evolution. We are formless. We are the very discipline and morality that Americans invoke so often. How can anyone hope to eliminate us? As long as this nation exists, so will we.
Cut the crap! If you're immortal, why would you take away individual freedoms and censor the net?
Jack, don't be silly.
Don't you know that our plans have your interests, not ours, in mind?
What?
Jack, listen carefully, like a good boy.
The mapping of the human genome was completed early this century.
Look at this, the
As a
mapping
result,
of the human genome.
the evolutionary log of the human race lay open to us.
We started with genetic engineering, and in the end, we succeeded in digitizing life itself.
But there are things not covered by genetic information.
What do you mean?
Human memories, ideas, culture, history.
Genes don't contain any record of human history.
Is it something that should not be passed on? Should that information be left at the mercy of nature?
We've always kept records of our lives, through words, pictures, symbols, from tablets to books.
But not all the information was inherited by later generations. A small percentage of the whole was selected and processed, then passed on. Not unlike genes, really.
That's what history is, Jack.
But in the current digitized world, trivial information is accumulating every second, preserved in all its triteness, never fading, always accessible.
Rumors about petty issues, misinterpretations, slander.
All this junk data, preserved in an unfiltered state, growing at an alarming rate.
It will only slow down social progress, reduce the rate of evolution.
Right. You seem to
Talking
think
about
that
the
our plan
internet.
is one of censorship.
Are you telling me it's not?
You're being silly. What we propose to do is not to control content, but to create context.
Create context.
Create
The digital
context.
society furthers human flaws and selectively rewards development of convenient half-truths. Just look at the strange juxtapositions of morality around you.
Billions spent on new weapons in order to humanely murder other humans.
Rights of criminals are given more respect than the privacy of their victims.
Although there are people suffering in poverty, huge donations are made to protect endangered species. Everyone grows up being told the same thing.
Be nice to other people.
But beat out the competition.
You're special. Believe in yourself and you will succeed.
But it's obvious from the start that only a few can succeed.
You exercise your right to freedom, and this is the result. All rhetoric to avoid conflict and protect each other from hurt. The untested truths, spun by different interests, continue
Dude, this
to
is
churn
getting a little
and
creepy.
accumulate in the sandbox
This
of
is
political
getting creepy,
correctness
man.
and value systems.
Everyone withdraws into their own small gated community, afraid of a larger forum. They stay inside their little ponds, leaking whatever truth suits them into the growing cesspool of society at large.
The different cardinal truths neither clash nor mesh. No one is invalidated, but nobody is right.
Not even natural selection can take place here. The world is being engulfed in truth.
Oh my
And this
God.
is the way the world
is-
ends.
this is
Not
this
with
is
a
horrible.
bang, but a whimper.
We're trying to stop that from happening.
It's our responsibility as rulers. Just as in genetics, unnecessary information and memory must be filtered out to stimulate the evolution of the species.
And you think you're qualified to decide what's necessary and not?
Absolutely. Who else could wade through the sea of garbage you people produce, retrieve valuable truths, and even interpret their meaning for
This
later
is fucked up.
generations?
That's what it means to create context.
I'll decide for myself what to believe and what to pass on.
But is that even your own idea?
Or something Snake told you.
That's the proof of your incompetence right there. You lack the qualifications to exercise free will.
That's not true. I have the right.
Does something like a self exist inside of you?
That which you call self serves as nothing more than a mask to cover your own being.
In this era of ready-made truths,
Man, this is some
self
black
is
pill
just
shit.
something used to preserve those positive
Fucking
emotions
black
that you
pill in here.
occasionally feel.
Another possibility is that self is a concept you conveniently borrowed under the logic that it would endow you with some sense of strength.
That's crap.
Is it? Would you prefer that someone else tell you? All right then. Explain it to him.
Jack, you're simply the best, and you got there all by yourself.
Oh, what happened? Do you feel lost? Why not try a bit of soul searching?
Don't think you'll find anything, though.
Ironic that although self is something that you yourself fashioned, every time something goes wrong, you turn around and place the blame on something else.
It's not my fault. It's not your fault.
In denial, you simply resort to looking for another,
That's
more
what's
convenient
happening.
truth in
That's
order to
what's
make yourself
happening
feel
now.
better.
Leaving behind in an instant the so-called truth you once embraced.
Should someone like that be able to decide what is truth?
Should someone like you even have the right to decide?
You've done nothing but abuse your freedom.
You don't deserve to be free.
We're not the ones smothering the world. You are.
The individual is supposed to be weak, but far from powerless. A single person has the potential to ruin the world.
And the age of digitized communication has given even more power to the individual. Too much power for an immature species.
Building a legacy involves figuring out what is wanted and what needs to be done for that goal. All this you used to struggle with. Now we think for you.
We are your guardians,
Jesus
after
Christ,
all.
this is
You want to
fucking
control
a
human
black
thought,
pill from
human
hell.
behavior?
Of course. Anything can be quantified nowadays. That's what this exercise was designed to prove.
You fell in love with me just as you were meant to, after all. Isn't that right, Jack?
Ocelot was not told the whole truth, to say the least.
We rule an entire nation. Of what interest would a single soldier, no matter how able, be to us?
The S3 plan does not stand for solid snake simulation. What it does stand for is selection for societal sanity.
Selection for societal
The
sanity.
S3 is a
That's
system
great.
for controlling human will and consciousness. S3 is not you, a soldier trained in the image of Solid Snake. It is a method, a protocol that created a circumstance that made you what you are.
So you see, we're the S3, not you.
Wow, dude, that's just black pilling from hell. That is absolute black pilling
What you
from
experienced
hell.
was
we
the
got
final
more?
test of its effectiveness.
That's crazy.
You heard what President Johnson said.
The Arsenal's GW system is the key to their supremacy.
The objective of this exercise was to establish such a method. We used Shadow Moses as a paradigm for the exercise.
I wonder if you would have preferred a fantasy setting.
We chose that backdrop because of its extreme circumstances. It was an optimal test for S3's crisis management capacity. If the model could trigger, control, and solve this, it would be ready for any contingency. And now, we have our proof.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're going to end it there, all right? It's about 9 minutes and a half minutes. Slippery Ho, that was definitely some black pilling shit, if I don't say so myself. And according to people in the chat room, this video game was created in 2001. So that just goes to show you how long they've been thinking about all this shit. And a lot of the rhetoric that was seen on this clip and on the previous clip that was donated to us from Metal Gear Solid 2, it's literally what we're living right now. It's literally what we are living right now, and it's creepy. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, this is why everybody is living in La La Land, and as opposed to actually living in the reality. And somebody in the chat room said that the internet silences people on the outside, which I think is absolutely accurate. I think that a lot of folks that would go out there and be vocal and try to, you know, gather some opposition to a lot of the tyranny that we're witnessing here aren't doing so because they're too busy on the internet. They're too busy on social media. You know, they're too busy trying to Instagram, trying to TikTok, trying to do all this other crap. So it is unfortunate. But I am not a globalist. I will never be a globalist. So it really doesn't matter, okay?